Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. On today's show, should LeBron James take the blame after his Cavs failed to close the door on the Bucks? Plus, former UCLA head coach Jim Mora Jr. breaks down the pro prospects for Josh Rosen and Sam Darnold. And would the Cowboys be better off if Zeke accepted his suspension earlier in the season? Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. The Cavs' 5-game winning streak came to an end in Milwaukee last night. 119-116. Cleveland was down by 20, but went on a 24-2 run with LeBron on the bench. With just over 2 minutes left, LeBron gave the Cavs the lead with a bucket and the foul. But the Greek Freak made a huge layup in the final seconds to put the Bucks up 4. LeBron answered that with a fancy three-pointer that he threw off Giannis with 2 seconds left. But it was too little too late. LeBron's final stats, 39 points, 7 turnovers, and 1 rebound. Here he is after the loss.
You're not going to win them all. I mean, listen, we already had 8 losses coming into this game, so you're not going to win them all, but you want to try to continue to get better and better. I thought in the fourth quarter, we kind of picked up on what we didn't do in the first couple 3 quarters and started to get the wave going back in the right direction. So, like I said, it's a long season, and I know those guys, we beat them the first 2 times, here once and then back in Cleveland, so they was extra motivated, and, to have a boost like Eric Bledsoe, that definitely helps as well.
Shannon, how much was LeBron to blame for the loss?
0. I blame Sean Lee's injury. Had he not been injured for 6 weeks.
You can tell who's in trouble across the table. Somebody's in big trouble. Yep.
Joey, I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. How much is LeBron to blame? LeBron scored 39 points. He had 7 assists. He shot 64% from the field. He shot 54.5% from the three-point line. He was 100% from the free throw line.
Mm-hmm. That was rare.
Last 2 games, he's 15 for 15 from the free throw line. But I don't want to. We ain't talking about him shooting.
We're going to, but go ahead.
Here's the thing, Skip, and you always do this. Just because the bench had a nice run doesn't mean LeBron did something bad. LeBron had no problem sitting on the bench. He was cheered. He was the first one when Dwayne Wade hit that three-pointer.
Head cheerleader.
Hey, cost Dave Fizdale his job. Remember, they went on a run without Marc Gasol and he didn't play? What happened, Skip? Now, you and I both know Marc Gasol can't carry LeBron nothing. And LeBron was perfectly content. D. Wade even said it. He's like, y'all 5 standard, y'all got it going. I got this on the sideline. He had it doing his best ML car.
So maybe he should have just sat the whole game.
He would have sat the entire fourth quarter had they continued to run. It wasn't until the Bucks took the lead back by 1. T. Lue got the timeout. They reinserted LeBron. Now, mind you, LeBron scored 9 points. Didn't turn the ball over. Gave Kyle Korver 2 great looks. LeBron will always have a high turnover rate, Skip. You know that because he's getting guys wide open looks, but he's swinging the ball from one baseline all the way to the other. He's trying to make passes from half court, so they're going to get tipped. They're going to go out of bounds sometimes, but he's going to try the high degree difficult pass because he wants to get guys wide open look. I don't really know what else you want him to do. He made 3 huge three-point plays. I mean, he shot 1 from Sheboygan, Wisconsin. He shot another from Ashwaubenon, Wisconsin.
Did you look that up?
No, I'm a Wisconsinite.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my brother was for 7 years.
He was.
But, Skip, I don't really know how you find blame. You complain about he's a stat stuffer. He playing all those minutes. Joe, he played 34 minutes last night. 34 minutes, 39 points, shot 64% from the field, and somehow only Skip Bayless. And as he told me last week, you come in here, you ranting and raving about a Tuesday night game. That's important. Guess what last night was, Joey? A Tuesday night game. Somehow Skip find relevance and importance in that. But that's okay.
Wait, Joey, have I spoken?
No, you're not speaking. You shouldn't be speaking right now. I'm talking to Joey, not you. But anyway.
Funny how you put words in my mouth.
No. LeBron is not the reason they lost. Like he said, Milwaukee was highly motivated. They're a good team. Giannis Antetokounmpo, I just wanted to say his name. Giannis played well. Now they got Bledsoe, played extremely well. While you're bull-jiving, Chris Middleton might be an all-star this year. He's 20-5. That's what he's averaging right now. So he's playing really well. They got great bench production. Tony Snell made some big threes. Malcolm Brogdon, who was last year's Rookie of the Year over Joel Embiid, lets you know what type of talent that he is. Give them credit. They won the ball game. If somebody would have told Cleveland, over your next 20 ball games, you'll win 18 of them, they would have gladly taken it. They're 8-2 in the month of December. They would have gladly taken it. They're not done yet. They come home against Chicago on Thursday. Then they're out on the road for a while. we know what Cleveland is. LeBron's going to do what LeBron does, but he's not the reason they lost this game, Skip. And you need to stop playing, too.
Stop playing? I haven't even started playing
God,
yet.
you about to start.
Tell me when it's my turn. Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Thank you. Read my lips. LeBron James was completely to blame for the Cleveland collapse at the end of the game because they should have won it going away because they had everything going in their favor when LeBron James retook the basketball court with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left. Let's frame what was going on in this game. What had Dwayne Wade led? A 24-3 run. You don't see very many of those in the National Basketball Association. And by the way, Dwayne Wade is rivaling my man Manu Ginobili for 6th Man of the Year. It's early, but he is. Manu's still slightly ahead.
Lou Williams said, y'all.
I think Manu's got it.
What about
right
Eric
now.
Gordon?
We can talk about any of those guys, but I like those two right now. And I love what Dwayne Wade is doing coming off the bench for the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's huge. It's why I still give the Cavs a slight edge over Kyrie's Boston Celtics is because of what Dwayne is doing with the shock troops, with the second unit, and that was sensational. But let's frame. Who are we talking about here? We're talking about the Bucks. They are now 16-13, so they're pretty good. They're in the Eastern Conference, I'll give them pretty good. In the scope of the NBA, they're mediocre.
They did go on the road and beat Boston but okay.
But okay, they had just lost their last 3 games, and they had lost at home to the Chicago Bulls on Friday night because they have had trouble protecting leads. They blew a 4th quarter lead to the Chicago Bulls in that same building you watched that game in last night, just on Friday night. So this is who they are. This is who they are not. And they were shell-shocked by a 24-3 run that took their crowd completely out of a game that it looked like they were going to win in a walk. It was going to be a big blowout win for the home crowd over LeBron James and company, which is rare, obviously.
It looked like that early in the fourth.
It sure did. So this is the perspective into which LeBron James walked. And over those final 3 minutes and 38 seconds, LeBron James was a -2.
Wow.
-2. But the other 4 players on the court for the Cleveland Cavaliers were a +62 because you had 4 +12s and you had 1 +14. But that's because he joined the second unit, basically, the guys who were on the floor. Kevin Love did not come back in. J.R. Smith did not come back in.
J.R. Smith didn't play well last night.
Okay, it was the second unit plus LeBron.
Correct.
So I'm going to bring up what I brought up yesterday. If you take Michael Jordan in his prime and you hand him on a silver platter that game in Milwaukee, he's going to close that deal. If you give Kobe that game on a silver platter under those same circumstances in his prime, he's going to get you home. Larry Bird's going to get you home.
So they never lost a game like that. They never lost one.
Not like that. This is a game where LeBron James says, and I'm sure he was just chomping at the bit to get back in the game because this is the one you close. And he started out sensationally. And by the way, he has played great so far this year, and I do not toss that word around loosely. He has been great to date.
He is great. So what do you expect from him?
I expect that in his 15th year, it's hard to play at this level night after night, and he still leads the NBA in minutes played. That's just shocking to me. I don't get it. I can't comprehend it. I can't compute it, but he still is doing that. I think in part to stuff the stat sheet because he needs stats more than finals wins.
So why is Brady still playing in year 18 then?
Okay, we're talking about LeBron James. And Brady doesn't need stats. He doesn't care if he completes no passes. If they win another Super Bowl, he'll be just fine because he's 5-2, should be 6-1 in Super Bowls.
No, he should be. He actually should be 3-4. Yeah, but go ahead.
All right. So LeBron comes in, and the first thing he does is he takes one from Sheboygan. And I don't get it, but he took a 30-foot three-point shot to start off. This is 3:30 left, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why you would take it so far out, but I'm good with it because he ripped it. From 30 feet, that's like, what, 23.8. So that's like 6 feet beyond the three-point line.
Oh, you good with it because he made it. Had he missed it, you do
well,
not
it's just clearly it's a bad shot.
Oh.
Well, it's just a bad shot. What? Okay, what did LeBron say a couple of weeks ago when he was talking about how he doesn't get fouls called? I am not a jump shooter. Did he not say that?
Doesn't mean he's not going to shoot any.
Okay, so he took that shot and he made it. And history has shown us, I brought this up 1,000 times on TV, that sometimes LeBron will make one of those and it will encourage him to take more of those, which is usually a bad thing. So what happens next time down? It's a vintage freight train into the lane, whammo, he gets hit, he makes a little runner, and he makes the free throw because, to your point, that was his 5th free throw in 5 tries. So he's on a free throw roll. He's up to, 78%. We got a bet on 80%, right? And so he teetered down towards 75. Now he's creeping back up to 78. So he's been on a free throw roll. I want you to keep that in your head as we break down what just happened. So when he makes that, all of a sudden they're up 1 now, 113 to 112. And now what happens? LeBron comes back down and he tries another one from where? Sheboygan? He tries another. Ashwaubenon. He tries another one. How about Appleton? I like Appleton.
Oh, you
I
like,
love
you like
I stayed in Appleton.
Yeah, you like flying into Appleton and driving.
Yeah, I know, because it's a good place to stay because it's only about a half hour away, right?
True.
So he tries one from Appleton from 30 feet again, and of course, he misses that.
Right.
Okay, help me out here. Why wouldn't you just say, I just made one in the lane. I'll just drive it to the basket. They don't have it. Do you think Greek Freak can keep LeBron James from the basket? I don't. I'm sorry, he can't. They don't have anybody who can Henson keep LeBron James from the rim? No. So you should drive it, but nope, he misses it. And then what happens after that? There's a rebound and comes back to LeBron James, and he has a chance to drive the basketball. And all of a sudden, we have shades of Game 3 of the finals. He drives it down the left side of the lane. I think, oh, he's just going to take it right to the rack, and he's probably going to get to the free throw line, and maybe he'll go 7 for 7 from the free throw line. And what happens? He suddenly rises up, looks completely across court from the left side of the lane, and he whips a two-hand pass, as they call it, a skip pass, not named after me, just skipping everybody, all the way across court into the far corner to
Kyle Korver.
Kyle Korver. What do you
Fourth
call him?
Korver.
Kyle Fourth Korver, right?
Fourth Korver.
Fourth Korver. And Kyle Korver looks like, me? You want me to shoot
No,
this?
he did, Skip.
And at that point, Kyle Korver is 0 for 2 from 3, so I hadn't even been really shooting him, and he was 0 for 2. And he looks a little startled by the pass. And he catches it and decides, I guess he wants me to shoot this. And predictably, what happened? He missed it. Well, wait a second. You had a chance to put him away right there, and you missed him?
Yeah, Kyle Korver makes that 3 to put him away. Make or miss league.
So now you come back down, and Tony Snell kind of trailing on the break, takes the pass from Bledsoe, and he rips it. And all of a sudden, the Bucks are back up 2, and I'm saying, God, what are you doing? And LeBron James comes back down, and what does he do again? He takes another 3. Why would you take a 3 there? I don't know what possesses him. You just have to drive the basketball. Nobody can stop you.
Well, you didn't have a problem with him shooting the 3, and when he made it, you didn't.
I know, but I said I can't argue with it if he makes it.
No. See, but you can't base your decision on the results, Skip, because you don't know. You have the luxury of knowing the outcome.
With the game on the line, what is he best at? What is he unstoppable at?
Making the right play.
Nobody can stop
Making the right play.
Making the right play. So he misses another 3, and all of a sudden, they're in trouble because Dwayne gets the rebound and kicks it to Kyle Korver, who misses another 3 because he's cold. So
no, one of them, Skip. Now, one of them, Kyle Korver, from about 29 feet, it was almost to the bottom of the and they spit it out.
Okay, but I've seen him make a lot of those.
Yes.
I get it, but he's 0 for 4 on this night. Okay, so he's the wrong option.
He's
just cold.
Wait a minute, Skip.
You know how three-point shooters are?
Hold on, no, wait a minute.
Make or miss. Cold, hot, cold.
But hold on. You don't have any problem. You saying Lonzo should keep shooting.
I do not.
Yes, you do.
Well, I mean, he's
you
a
said
baby
he made 41% in UCLA. Joy, at UCLA, he made 41%.
Dumb argument. Well, he started to make them. He made 3 the other night.
Kyle Korver's only made like 2,400 of them.
Okay, so good. He's having a cold night. Bad option. What's the better option? Kyle Korver shooting a 3-point shot or LeBron James at the rim or the free throw line? I think I'm taking LeBron.
Skip.
Help me out. Is he not the best player on the planet?
Skip, you have to understand an athlete's psyche. They're not thinking about results. I'm trying to make the right play, and I can live with whatever results come after that. Yeah, it's easy to say, well, he should have done this. But you didn't say that.
You should always do that. I've been saying I'm consistent in my opinion because nobody can stop him from the rim.
Nobody drove the basketball. Not Michael Jordan, not Kobe Bryant. Nobody drove the basketball every single play, Skip. So stop that. You're asking LeBron to do things that you never demanded from Kobe or Jordan.
I've told you before, the greatest driver of the basketball I've ever seen, because he is 6'9", 260, is LeBron James.
But he can shoot the ball also, Skip. He said,
I am not a jump shooter. I quote LeBron James. I am not a jump shooter.
I am not a blocking tight end. Doesn't mean I didn't block as a tight end, Skip.
So let's go to the last possession of the game, so to speak. I mean, the one that mattered. And LeBron James makes a heck of it's like he jumped the route. Antetokounmpo is going to curl across the lane. Chris Middleton has the ball. And at the last second, Chris Middleton chokes because Greek Freak just stops in his tracks, and LeBron continues on, and Chris Middleton throws it right to LeBron. And I'm like, what?
So you're not giving LeBron any credit on
I
this.
just said he jumped the route.
But you said he threw it right to him. He's passing the ball to Antetokounmpo.
Okay, I'm just saying, but Greek Freak just stops in his tracks. He stops cold. And the pass hits LeBron James right in the hands. And guess what? Dallas Cowboy fan LeBron James went Des Bryant. He went Des Bryant. He threw up the X.
Stop it,
he did.
Skip.
He threw up the X.
It, Skip.
He butterfingered the pass.
He overran the pass.
He did
Skip.
not overrun it. Hit him right in the hands. He might have been shocked, but it hit him right in the hands. LeBron James has to catch that ball. If he catches it, guess what happens? You're down with 7 seconds, down 2.
Yeah.
What's he going to do? He's just going to take off driving the basketball, and I'm pretty sure he's going to do what Lonzo attempted to do at the end of the Warriors game, just drive it all the way to the rim. Right?
Yeah.
Get to the free throw line.
But I know why Antetokounmpo did what he did, Skip, because he was going to catch the ball, drop step, and lay the ball up. He didn't realize LeBron was that close to him, especially on the outside. He was looking to just get the ball, drop step, and then as long as he is, he's going to either get fouled or he's going to dunk the
All I know is LeBron beat him to the spot. And the pass hits LeBron right in the hands, and not only does he butterfinger it, but it goes underneath him, and he can't find it.
Yeah.
He just can't find
because
it.
He's
and it
running so fast.
But it's trickling through his legs behind him. And then Antetokounmpo really offended me after the game because he said, and I quote, it's who wants that ball more. You have to dive for that ball. Well, I'm not going to blame LeBron James. He can't dive for a basketball he can't even find, and it's behind him.
Yes.
How's he going to dive for it? And did Antetokounmpo dive for the basketball?
No, he just reached out and picked it up.
It's like he found an Easter egg.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, look what I found. Oh, it's an Easter egg. Oh, nobody's around. I think I'll pick it up and lay it in.
Right.
Guess who fouled him?
Kyle Korver.
Fourth Korver. He did it again. He had a bad fourth Korver, did Kyle Korver.
No, I'm going to ride with him.
Yeah.
Because I've seen him make so many clutch threes in the fourth quarter. I've seen him play really well. LeBron trusts him. Ty Lue trusts him. His teammates trust him. So I got no problem. You're going to have nights like this.
Okay.
He's not going to be fourth quarter every night. But more times than not, there's a reason why he's the third or fourth in three-point field goals made.
So,
there's a reason why.
So Greek Freak gets fouled, and he goes to the line. And to his credit, he makes the one free throw.
Yes, he does.
All of a sudden, you're down 5. It looked like you were down 2 with the basketball, and now you're down 5.
Yes.
And to LeBron's credit, I give him, he made a very clever, savvy, shrewd, veteran play. He just bounces it off Antetokounmpo's back as he's just standing there with his arms like 9 feet wide, right? And he's got his back to LeBron.
When he threw the ball, I was like, LeBron, what do you do?
Well, my next question is, why was LeBron throwing the ball inbounds? Why didn't he want to receive a pass? That's shades of the David Blatt play in Chicago.
A lot of times what happens, you find the open guy, and then he gets the ball back and lets the three go.
You've got so little time left, you probably want to receive the ball and just turn and shoot it if that's what you want to do. But to LeBron's credit, he pulls off the play, gets the ball back, couple dribbles, top of the circle, he goes up and shoots it, and he makes it. But you're still down 2.
Exactly. So it didn't matter who was shooting the ball.
Okay, and it didn't really matter that you pulled off a clever play at the end of the game because now Chris Middleton goes the other way, gets fouled, and it leads us to the boneheaded decision of the night by one Jason Kidd. One of the smartest point guards ever. We say Lonzo Ball is going to be Jason Kidd. Well, I hope he isn't this Jason Kidd because what is Jason Kidd doing? So he instructs Chris Middleton to after he made the first one to miss the second one. Why? And Jason defended his decision after the game. He said, oh, it would be just our luck that they would try a 3 at the end of the game and we would foul them and they'd have a 4-point play. Well, wait a second. That doesn't compute because what's the worst thing that can happen if you let Chris Middleton try to make the second free throw and put you up 4 points? He would miss it, and then it would be just what you wanted, which was a miss with no time.
Right.
Okay? Well, then if they get the rebound and call timeout,
I don't think they had any timeout.
Okay, but whatever. The point is, you don't have to foul them. You just don't. You just tell them don't defend. No, just fall down. Just don't even put a hand up. Right? So it was not a smart play at the end of the game. It worked out.
For me, Skip, a lot of times there's a place you can place blame and says, okay, this happened. Milwaukee won the game. It shouldn't have come down to this. The game normally, everybody makes a run. You knew the Cavs were going to make a run, but how close could they get to them? They got close. They ended up taking a 1-point lead. They can never get that 3-point, 4-point lead. Give the Bucks some credit, Skip, because what we've seen normally when teams come back from this, they just collapse. They
picked themselves back up.
Right.
They matched whatever LeBron did with a basket.
Yes.
And so they stayed even enough.
Right.
But I'm going to remind you, LeBron was -2 in that stretch.
Yes.
So that's not great. And then the final statistical oddity of the night is it took the intentional miss by Chris Middleton for LeBron to get his first rebound of the game.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. And I followed all his games. Has he ever had a game where he didn't have?
He's had 3 games in his career in which he had 0 rebounds. 2 were when he was a rookie, a baby.
Right.
And 1 came in his 5th game in his first year in Miami. At home in Miami against Minnesota, he had 0 rebounds. So I can't explain it. I don't get it. Do I think LeBron didn't play hard last night? I think he played hard. I think it's just weird.
Yeah,
the ball just didn't bounce to him.
We know one thing about LeBron. He doesn't cheat you. When he's on the court, he's going to give you everything he got. But Skip, I'll tell you what, LeBron, you keep on giving me 14 to 22. You give me 6 of 11. You give me 100% from the free throw line. I'll take whatever comes along with that after that. So long as you keep shooting 64%, you keep doing that, bro. Everything will work itself out.
Yeah.
It'll work itself out.
Well, I know what Michael Jordan would have given me under the same circumstance. A dub. Big dub.
He gave you first round. He gave you
hot
first
dub.
round. He gave you first
hot
round.
Dub.
First
with a
round
little icing on top.
First round out of there until he got Scottie Pippen.
Big dub.
Till he got Pippen.
Kobe gives me a dub. Larry Bird gives me a dub.
Hold up.
Hot dub.
When Kobe was up 0-2, he gave you a hot 3 L's.
No mercy. Our next guest spent 6 seasons as a head coach at UCLA. Before that, he spent 4 seasons as an NFL head coach with the Falcons and the Seahawks. Jim Mora, welcome to Undisputed.
Well, thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Good to have you.
Gear up for this for this show. Man, I slapped myself a couple times to get ready for you.
You good.
We'll take it easy on you. Let's get started with 2 college quarterbacks that you know very well. UCLA's Josh Rosen and USC's Sam Darnold are projected by everyone to be top 5 picks in the 2018 draft if they decide to leave school. They each threw 26 touchdown passes this season and double-digit interceptions. So, you coached Rosen and you coached against Darnold.
Recruited him, coached against him, known him a long time. Yep. Known them both a long time.
Which one will be the better pro?
I think they're both going to be great pros, first of all. Totally different styles of play. But I'm going with Josh because he's a pure passer. I mean, he's got a motion that you would love to see in your mini camp. I mean, it's just pure and it's clean, and he can make every throw. He can throw with velocity, he can throw with touch. But I love Darnold because he's a gym rat, and he can improvise. He can make things happen on the move. They're going to play in different style of offenses. I think Darnold gives you a little bit more running ability, a little bit more mobility in the pocket. But Josh has that way, like all the great ones and the guys you played with, that kind of slip and slide around in the pocket and find the window, and then he can get it there on time. They're both going to be great, but Josh is one of my guys. I got to go with him.
Wow.
So, there were some reports and some conjecture that you and Josh weren't always on the same page because he has a mind of his own and you definitely have a mind of your own. How was that relationship? How difficult was it to see eye to eye with the guy who has his own vision?
Never. And I first of all, I never heard that conjunction. I've known him since he was 15. He and my daughter are close friends. Hell, the kid's he's fallen asleep on my couch a number of times. 3 Christmases ago, he slept overnight on the couch. He was on one couch, I was on the other. I just texted with him on the way in here. There was never a time we didn't see eye to eye. I love the kid. And, I've tried to, since he was in high school, kind of guide him in a way that is going to prepare him to be a great NFL quarterback. And I've been lucky to be around guys like Joe Montana and Dan Fouts and Steve Young and Matt Hasselbeck and guys like that. I've coached 20 NFL pro or NFL Hall of Famers in my career, and they all have certain traits. And just trying to guide Josh in the right direction in terms of the emotional part that it takes to be a great player, as you know, at that level.
Interesting you said that you coach, obviously Joy mentioned in the Reeds that you coached in the NFL. How different is it coaching college players as opposed to NFL players?
It's very different, very different. And it starts because you start to get to know them when they're 15 years old. So you're dealing with young men that are developing rather than guys where the concrete is kind of hardened on their personalities and who they are. These guys all have aspirations of getting to the league. At the league, it's about being great and staying in league so you can continue to line your pockets, obviously, and build your legacy.
Right.
These guys will do anything that you say. You can use motivational ploys that you couldn't use
Right.
in the pros. The guys go, no, we're not playing that game, coach. But they're both fun. College is fun, but it's a challenge. You got to recruit. You got to worry about school. You got to worry about all the off the field things. You got to worry about all the NCAA regulations. But it's rewarding. I'll tell you, here was the biggest difference for me was draft day and graduation day. I always wanted my guys to get a degree, and I want them to get drafted. And our graduation success rate went from 59% when I got there to 86% when I left. So we jumped way up, and we put more guys in the NFL than any team in the Pac-12. So we were excited about that. But draft day, it was so awesome to see these kids like realizing their dream and thinking that maybe you had something to do with it as opposed to picking a player. I got to be there with Tack. Remember when Tack McKinley went crazy last year? I'm sitting back there. He gave me the draft card. I've got it in my office. And just to see that pure emotion, he's dropping F-bombs. And you remember that? He's dropping F-bombs.
I do.
To know his story, it was unbelievable.
Right.
So Josh obviously came from a fairly affluent background. What is his drive to be great?
Well, Josh's dream when he was growing up was always to play center court at Wimbledon. So he's always had high aspirations for himself athletically. He's just one of those unique individuals that every day he says, how can I get better? How can I be a better player, a better person, a better student of the game? I think this year he took a huge jump forward. I think there was a lot of questions going into this year of whether or not he had the emotional components that you needed to be a great NFL player, and some of the things that he would say on camera and letting his opinions be known. And I don't believe that he understood how impactful and influential his words could be. And I think this year he really learned exactly what it's going to take to be great at the next level.
And Darnold, on the other hand, you say Jim Rat.
Love him.
Looked like there were times this year he was trying to do a little too much, make too much happen.
Maybe.
Interceptions are a little high, got up to 12. Their stats are almost the same, but what did you see from him when you played him?
Well, I'd rather have a guy that you have to rein in rather than push to try to make plays. And I don't know how you'd feel about that, but I think NFL coaches can teach him how to be better decision makers. The thing you like about Sam Darnold is if you put a basketball in his hands, he's going to go out and make three-pointers all day. If you put him in the Dodgers batting cage, he's going to hit him out. If you put him at the wedge, he's going to be a great body surfer. If you have him go surf at the North Shore, he's going to go surf the North Shore. He's one of those guys you can just do anything. And I love his fearless mentality, and I love the way he can create. I think he still has to develop as a pure passer at the next level because, it's tough to win unless you've got a pure passing quarterback, but he's got that intangible. He's a winner. He's 16-0 at home.
Right.
I got to watch my language.
Well, I think that's
coaching too long.
That's the hardest thing that you try to tell people about the quarterback position is that in college, they wait till you get open, and in the NFL, you have to throw people.
If you wait in the NFL for them to be open, then they're covered when the ball gets there.
Exactly.
So, and Josh has that anticipation. I don't know that Sam does yet, but I think he's so driven that he will. But in the windows, as you know, the windows are tight. In college football, guys are actually open. In the pro game, you have to throw them open, or you have to be able to put it right on the back shoulder, or put it in the window. Josh can do those things.
So I don't know how much you saw of the now Heisman Trophy winner, Baker Mayfield, this year, but he can be deadly accurate, but he's probably about 6 feet tall, and you were there when Jeff Garcia was in his heyday with the 49ers at about
5'11", 6 feet,
somewhere in there. I don't know if you've seen much tape of Baker.
I've seen it.
Okay, so what's your gut on him? Would you take a shot? Would you take a first-round shot?
I don't know that I'd take a first-round shot, but I'd take a shot. I think that guys like that, the guy he's a playmaker. Baker Mayfield, he makes things happen. He in the big moments, he comes up big. And I don't think you can discount that. And I think as you go through the draft process, they're going to rip him apart.
They will.
They're going to tell you all the things that he isn't. What I'm going to say is he's a winner. And the guy that I'm going to look at is Drew Brees. Now, I don't know that he's a passer that Drew Brees is, but he's a dang winner, and you love winners. And I think at some point in the draft, he's going to get picked, and at some point in his career, he's going to go in and he's going to do great things. I don't know when it's going to be, and I don't know how long he's going to do those great things, but he'll probably lead a team to some great win to get him into the playoffs or something. Maybe it disappears after that.
I think the thing when you look at undersized quarterbacks, Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, you really need to learn how to throw in lanes.
You sure
because
do.
you can't throw up over the top of you. Because you're 5'11", you're hitting the lineman in the back of the helmet with the football.
Right.
So you have to find lanes, and Drew Brees has done.
He slides his feet so well, and he turns his shoulders so well. And I'll tell you what helps Drew, and you know this, is he understands protection so well.
Yes.
And he understands rush lanes so well
Yes.
that he knows how to move to get himself into position to throw the ball. I've been to a few of his practices, and just to watch his style and the way he practices just shows you how hard he works on it. It's not just innate.
No.
He works on it every day. He goes through all his progression. He'll throw a ball, and then he'll go through all his progression so he can find his windows. Baker will have to learn how to do that.
And then we got one other quarterback who could be the next Carson Wentz, who is Josh Allen at Wyoming. Did you see any tape?
I haven't seen much of him, but I know
But he's
a lot of him.
prototype 6'5" to whatever 30.
Well,
even
and
a
all you
little
got to do
bigger
is go look at Carson Wentz,
Yeah.
you know, and see what he's doing. And didn't come out of a huge program.
We'll see where he ends up going, and I'm sure that Shannon will jump on their bandwagon.
Yep,
And
that's a good point. Bandwagon.
No, I'm good. I'm
Oh,
all in
you
on.
got it?
I'm all in on Wentz.
Yeah. All right.
No mercy. Ezekiel Elliott is back with the Cowboys following his 6-game suspension. Zeke spent the last 6 weeks training in Cabo, and the Cowboys went 3-3 in his absence. Yesterday, Jerry Jones said Sunday's game against the Seahawks will be business as usual with Zeke, and they will, quote, let him really have the carries. Dallas is currently 8-6, 1 game behind the Falcons in the wild card race. So, Shannon, some people have said the Cowboys would be in a better spot if Zeke had accepted the suspension at the beginning of the season. Should they have?
Hell no. It's easy for them to say because it's not their pelt that Roger Goodell is trying to nail to the wall, Skip. You know what I notice about punishment? People always say you should have taken the punishment because they don't have to serve it. It's easy to say. He should have just went ahead and served. That's easy for you to say because you're not the one that's being suspended. You're not the one that's being without football when football is what you do. You're not the one that's losing money, and it's also not your reputation. Even if Zeke didn't love football, the man is fighting for his name, and he has every right to do it. So it's easy for people and fans and everybody to say, well, if he'd have did this earlier, now they could have come back, and now Zeke would have been primed. He'd have been ready. Yeah, that's easy to say. That's hindsight, knowing what you know now. But if I'm Zeke, I would have handled it the exact same way as he did. I'm going to try to fight it until I have no more avenues to go down, and then when they tell me I've exhausted all of my appeal attempts, well, I'm going to go sit it down. But until then, Skip, I'm going to keep fighting. And he should have. There's no guarantee that I understand that they went 3-3 without Zeke in this spot. And if you look at the early games, they might have gone 3-3 and they get Zeke back. Maybe they go on a roll. You can probably count the times in the last 10 years on one hand, the times the team have won 10 straight ball games, because that's what you would have asked the Cowboys to do. Now, they did it last year, and a lot of things went well for them last year. Just like in 2015, Kansas City got on the roll and almost caught Denver. They won their last 10 ball games.
Did.
But that doesn't happen often, Skip. You covered this game far enough, long enough, I've played it. You don't win 10 games it's very, very rarely that a team wins 10 games. So I have no problem with Zeke fighting for his reputation, fighting to try and beat this suspension because it was he that has something to lose. No one else. Everybody says, oh, take the punishment. Yeah, it's easy for you to say because you're not the one that's going to be receiving said punishment.
I am with you on your big picture premise about this. I was happy and I encouraged him to fight back for his reputation.
Absolutely.
And to his credit and their credit, just like Tom Brady, they did win one round of court, district court. This one in Texas, Brady's in Manhattan. They won it. They didn't win it. They won it in a rout because each of those judges, Judge Berman up in New York and the judge in Texas, basically laughed the NFL out of their courtroom and said, you have no merit. And they were judging the merits of the case. And remember, the Kia Roberts issue came up where Kia Roberts had gone against Roger Goodell and her bosses actually and testified at the appeals hearing.
Lisa Friel.
Yeah, Lisa Friel, and said, I interviewed the accuser 6 times, 4 by phone, twice face-to-face, and I didn't find her credible.
Correct.
So they had that piece of evidence in the district court, and he won. So I think Zeke, in fighting back and winning one round of court, I think he saved some face. I think he earned some benefit of the doubt, maybe. Like you've said, some people just believe he did it.
Right.
I don't know. How do you feel, Joy, about this? Did it help his case at all to go win one round of court, just for his sake? Just for his reputation. I think it did.
I mean, I think if you believe that he did it, then,
then
there's
you're just
nothing
going to say,
that's
okay,
change your
that's
mind
fine.
about it.
That's
you know,
fine.
if you're on the fence, maybe it swayed you a little bit, but I think more, if anything's going to sway you, it was the way that the NFL handled the investigation to begin with.
Fine. But I think in Zeke's heart of hearts, he felt good about how much effort he put into it, and they got through one round. And remember, then it goes to appeals court, and he didn't lose in appeals court. They told him, hey, we can't even get you on our docket for 3 more weeks. And by the way, we do say this, you have to start serving now. What?
Yeah.
You're not going to rule on my case,
Right.
but you're telling me I have to start serving my
So
suspension
you
right
basically
now?
already telling me what?
Right. So
I'm fighting
it would
a
be,
losing battle.
So if he's going to serve 3 games, why would you even get on the docket and go back and try to fight again? You might as well just.
Waste your
they
money.
finally just said, okay, we give up.
People like, well, Zeke should just go ahead and take his medicine. Zeke said, but I don't need medicine. Hell, I ain't sick.
Yeah.
I don't want to take any medicine.
Right.
And that's the thing, Skip. And I find it so funny that people like, well, he should have done this. And I said this from the beginning. I'm fighting, Skip.
You
because
would fight.
the man
I
said,
know you.
Zeke said, I've done some things I'm not proud of.
Yep.
I just didn't do this. Okay, so he's going to fight.
Yeah.
Everybody fight. Even some people that, Skip, they done killed 9 people, 10 people, and they go into court, not guilty. Bro, they got you, they just walked you out of the place and see all the people, the dead bodies, not guilty. I'm gonna fight it. So Zeke, I'm fighting it.
Okay.
I don't, you taking her word as he against she, I'm not doing it. And I agree with Zeke because Roger Goodell was not gonna hang any fans. Jerry Jones had no skin in the game. Yeah, it's his team, but at the end of the day, Jerry's reputation is intact.
Yep.
Whatever you think of Jerry, that scarlet letters,
Yep.
is not going next to Jerry Jones' name. That was going next to Zeke Elliott's
Correct.
name. And Zeke says, I'm going to fight for my name. I'm fighting for my mom. I'm fighting for my dad because I don't want people thinking that their son would do something like this.
Okay. Now, back on the football field. Why is my Dallas Cowboys season teetering on missing the playoffs? Why is it a long shot for them to even slip in the back door of the playoffs? Because of back-to-back home losses with Ezekiel Elliott. That's my problem with the whole year. As I look back on it, they lost to the Rams, who proved to be really good. We didn't know for sure how good they were.
We knew.
Okay, and they lost to the transcendental Aaron Rodgers the next game. These are both at home. Back-to-back games. And Zeke played in both of them. Zeke played kind of ho-hum the first one. He had 21 carries for 85 yards against the Rams.
That's 4 yards to carry. That's pretty good.
Decent, but the second game, 29 for 116. That's better. That's pretty vintage Zeke. That's another 4 yards a carry. They lead the first game 24-16 at half. They lead the second game against Aaron Rodgers 21-12 at half, and they collapse on defense in the second half. Wait, somebody's speaking on this side of the table. You do not get to interject until I finish what happened.
Okay.
So we're back to what you ridicule, and you already took another shot at him this show. You started off. Sean Lee. Sean Lee. I'm going to say it again. Sean Lee. So this team is 7-1 with Sean Lee in the lineup on defense this year, and 1-5 without him. And those 2 games were no Sean Lee in the second half. And they just got run out of their own building by the Rams and Aaron Rodgers. Run out of their own building.
Hold on.
Defensive collapses
if you
both times.
if you don't mind me asking, okay, Zeke has missed 6 games. Sean Lee has missed 6 games.
Yep.
How many games has Dak Prescott missed?
He hasn't missed any, but
Okay.
hold on. You ask, I'm going to finish.
No, Skip. You've been
Thank
going
you.
on. No.
My
Skip,
turn.
No.
Did
you
he
just
not
had
ask
your
me a
turn.
question?
No. I
Joy,
was
he
speaking.
asked me
I
a
was
question.
speaking hypothetically.
Yeah, you
I
asked
had
me. You opened the door.
That is
I'm
a
going to run
hypothetical
through it.
question.
Okay, hypothetically
And I don't
speaking.
think
How about-
it wasn't hypothetical, it was a literal question.
How about statistically speaking? I'm going to finish this. With Zeke in the lineup, this team is 5-3. Without him, it's 3-3. Are those Sean Lee kind of numbers? I think not.
Hold on.
Wait,
But
that means Sean Lee is more valuable than Ezekiel Elliott.
But this is what I want you to help
Thank
me
you for
then.
introducing that.
So what you
Counselor?
I love it. Because you told me the quarterback is the most important position on the football field. So are you telling me Sean Lee is more important than Dak Prescott?
Hold on just a second. In those two games that I just brought up, the two crushing losses, Dak's QBRs was 78 against the Rams, which is really good, and 97 against Aaron Rodgers, which is great. So thank you, Dak, for those two performances, but he doesn't play safety, I told you.
Joey,
maybe he should play
he was at my
linebacker.
restaurant. He came in. I stayed open late for him because I know he one of the more hot L's.
Yeah.
But hold on. But what you telling me, Skip, if he that boy dog like you tell me he is, he got to win those games because old Nick Foles went up. They didn't have Carson Wentz. They went up there and got a dub.
Yeah, but who has a really good defense? The Philadelphia Eagles do.
Whoa.
With Sean Lee, this is a pretty good defense. Without him, it's the worst defense in the NFL, and I can just show you
If
the
your
stats. It's the worst in the
If
NFL.
your quarterback is that guy, that guy, that dude, that boss, that boy dog like you say he is, you be talking about him, woo, he got to deliver us from evil. He didn't do it.
Who's still afloat in the playoff race?
Yeah.
Dallas is. They're still afloat.
Well, we know what floats.
Who's won 3 in a row?
Put something on it. Y'all don't get to the playoffs. Put something
Oh,
on it.
well, that's really bold of you.
I told you
That's
at the beginning.
gutsy.
Hold on, Skip.
Yeah.
I told you at the beginning of the year, Skip.
Yeah.
I told you.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll bet you a single bottle of Diet Mountain Dew to 10 cases of Diet Mountain Dew that the Cowboys make the playoffs. Will you take? Those are the odds right now.
I tell you what I do.
Those are the odds. What do they have? Like a 4%? I don't know.
Y'all got a 7% chance.
7% chance. Okay, so one bottle. I'll bet you one bottle versus 10 cases.
I got a better chance of being run over by a train coming down Wilshire Boulevard.
Well, I hope you.
Ain't no train close by Wilshire Boulevard.
I hope not.
Don't worry about it, no Skip Bayless. You are done.
Yeah.
And I told you, Zeke already done told him up in Cabo. He said, hold this hotel room. They got the more hot wings and some hot doves waiting on them, Joe.
It's still possible. Oh, they have hot dubs waiting there too?
They got hot doves for him. Oh, they gonna win a couple of games. But the NFC South, nobody's losing their final two.
Oh, really?
And Detroit, you think Green Bay gonna beat Detroit without Aaron?
Stranger things have happened.
The strangest thing that happened is that your guy got exposed. That's what was strange to you,
really?
but not the old Shay Sharpe, because he be knowing.
Oh, so Zeke was there, and you told me it's Zeke or bust, and they lost the two. See, if you give me those 2 wins, we're having a different
You
conversation.
told me Dak is that guy.
Well, he was that guy in both those games. He was really good.
And that is.
Can't play defense.
Can't play defense.
No mercy. And a surprise to pretty much nobody, Tom Brady has by far the best odds to win the MVP award from Bovada. He has led the 11-3 Patriots to a huge road win against the Steelers on Sunday. Brady is followed by Todd Gurley, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, and Carson Wentz, who is out for the year with a torn ACL. We're joined by Rob Parker. Welcome, Rob.
Hey, how
Good
are you?
morning.
The
Happy
reporter.
holidays, everybody.
Be honest. Be honest.
I'm always honest. Are you kidding?
How much of a case for MVP did Brady make against the Steelers?
He didn't make a case. In fact, Tom Brady, they won the game. Again, this is why I call him the luckiest of all time. They just saw Pittsburgh disintegrate and make all the mistakes and hand the game. It wasn't something that Tom Brady did. And the numbers that you talked about earlier in his last 3 games, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's not making a strong case. And now, Skip, you're the one who loves the QBR, right? That's your, okay.
I do. Yep.
So, according to you, Tom Brady's 4th in QBR. Case Keenum is 3rd. So why shouldn't Case Keenum, with what the Vikings are doing, right, should be considered more than Tom Brady? According to you, if the
So
QBR.
do you have Case Keenum for MVP?
No, I don't.
Thank you.
I still have Carson Wentz.
Walk it to him.
All right.
Give us a round.
All right.
I'm coming over here
And this is the
now.
best
I'm gonna
part,
be
though.
right
How
here.
soon
Think
it flips,
about
Skip.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't flip.
This last segment, you guys were best buddies over Kyrie.
But now I got it because Tom. When
You
it
have
comes to
fallen
Tom
back
Brady,
to earth.
Skip is not objective. That's his guy. He has Tom
Not
Brady
objective.
sheets, all the other stuff that
I don't
goes
have
in.
any Tom Brady
Okay.
sheets. I do have his. I don't even know what.
How many you got? Uggs. You got all the other Tom.
got
Brady.
Uggs.
The
Yeah.
sleeping
Them are
gear.
those sleeping pajamas.
Yeah, those.
Right.
A onesie.
They're recovery pajamas.
Yeah.
If Tom Brady wins the MVP, I'm going to take my slipper Uggs back to Nordstrom's and get a refund.
The
You
ones
got him at
you
Nordstrom
got
Rack. He got him at Nordstrom Rack on sale.
What? They're still legit.
No, they're not legit. First of all,
You can't brag about buying them.
Skip, the MVP. First of all, the
70%
MVP of that game was not Tom Brady. It was Rob Gronkowski. Who was AFC Offensive Player of the Week, Skip, if you don't mind me asking?
Who threw the football?
Hold on, Skip.
What's harder to do, throw it or catch it? Help me out, Hall of Famer.
Well, considering he only thrown 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, clearly throwing the ball is harder.
Yeah.
He could get by the touchdown interception rate. You know what? Rob Gronkowski was named Offensive Player of the Week for the second time. There's only one tight end in the history that's been named Offensive Player of the Week more than Rob Gronkowski.
And you know what? I was at
who's
home
that?
banging on my table. No Gronk, no win in Pittsburgh. No Gronk, no win in Pittsburgh.
But what were you banging on the table at the end of the year last football season? No Gronk, no hardware. Am I right?
Skip,
no Gronk for the last 8 games, hardware.
Skip,
Tom Brady won the Super Bowl.
And I'm going to say this. I just believe that what Carson Wentz has done, I believe he's built up enough cred. He has 5 more touchdowns. He has a higher QBR. He's won more games. He's thrown more touchdowns, fewer interceptions, number 1 scoring team. And I just, Skip, I don't really. And all I know
Shannon,
is.
he could.
If you don't mind me asking, Skip, how many Pro Bowl players do the Dolphins have?
Do I get to answer, or is this hypothetical? Sort of a
I'm going to say,
rhetorical
the Dolphins beat them last Monday night with 0 Pro Bowl players on either side of the football. So it just goes to show you, anything can happen.
Tom Brady's record against teams over 500 this year?
What is it?
2-3.
Oh, what?
That's Tom Brady.
MVP?
Wow.
That ain't MVP?
2-3. He can't beat the good teams. We know this.
So what's their overall record?
11-3.
11-3. And the number 1 seed in the AFC right now is the New England Patriots, correct?
Number 1 seed in the NFC is.
Who cares?
Yeah, don't do that, Skip.
You know, this is the truth of what's happening. Once again, Tom Brady is not getting enough credit for what he has pulled off because there's straight Brady hate out there, and it emanates from both sides of this table. There's jealousy, there's resentment, there's always this undercurrent of how can we discredit him? How can we undercut?
We're not trying to undercut him, Skip.
Yeah, you are. And look at what he's done with this team. This closes the case. This team had 2 Pro Bowlers, period. They had a fullback, Devlin, nobody even knows who he is.
True.
They had a special teams player in Matthew Slater, who's made it 6 straight years. This is his 7th straight year, and he played 7 out of 14 games. So he got it mostly on reputation. So 2 Pro Bowl players in Brady and Gronk go into Pittsburgh, which led the NFL with 8. 8? And they pulled this off?
How many on offense?
Well, I don't care. You got 8 Pro Bowl players versus 2.
But Brady gets when he gets a defense that had 1, and he wasn't playing because he's on IR. That's Shazier. So Brady 2 going against 1.
Yeah, but look at what you're up against on offense.
Yeah.
That's like a flying circus, right?
But remember,
and you managed to outscore that offense.
But remember, you're the number 6th scoring defense in all of football, the 1 New England Patriots.
Okay, let's look at the Patriots offense. Any wide receivers make the Pro Bowl? No.
Brandon Cooks has a legitimate case.
He does not have a legitimate case.
He's 10th in receiving yards.
He's had a good year,
Did
though,
any
Skip.
offensive lineman make the Pro Bowl? Obviously not, because you have told me repeatedly Brady's getting hit too much.
He was.
It's going to take 2 or 3 years off the end of his
He
career.
was.
He's not going to make it to 45 like he says. Marcus Cannon was his best offensive lineman. He's on IR.
Yes.
Did anybody on the Patriots defense make the Pro Bowl? No. Dante Hightower probably would have, but he's been gone. So they tried to shore up the football team. They went into free agency, and they got Gildersleeve from Buffalo to get a new driving force in the run game to replace LeGarrette Blount, who's now with Carson Wentz. They're number 2 in rushing. The Patriots, Gildersleeve, has been a bust. He's inactive.
It happens.
Okay.
Yep.
And Dwayne Allen was supposed to be the new Martellus, the bookend tight end to Gronkowski. What happened? He's a bust, or at least he's a major disappointment.
But Skip, here's the other one. If Wentz finishes with more touchdowns, less interceptions, and a better QBR, how in the world could he not be the MVP? Now, and there's a chance because he has a 5-touchdown lead, right? Tom Brady might throw 1 in the last 2 games and throw 3 or 4 picks. So when you add that up.
You want to bet on that? Against Buffalo and the Jets in Foxborough? Want to bet?
Get him, Jets.
He'll wrap it up. He'll cap it off.
If he has less touchdowns and more picks, I'm asking you, and his QBR is he's 4th right now, there's no way that
look
you
at
can
degree
look
of
at it, 'cause
difficulty.
Wentz would have played 3
Okay,
and
but
a third less
if anybody
games.
with half a brain would look at degree of difficulty, he lost Julian Edelman before the year started. Look at how many players they've lost
got Gronk.
everywhere. How many
Gronk
games
back.
has he had Chris Hogan for? Chris Hogan was a big deal last year, a big free agent acquisition.
If they lose to Buffalo at Foxborough, then what?
Okay, we'll have a different conversation. I said, when we talked about it earlier, he's got to cap it off with 2 solid performances against Buffalo and the Jets.
But what if the performances aren't solid?
Aren't solid enough, right? And he doesn't pass
we'll
those
revisit.
numbers.
Okay.
But right here, right now, for him to take that team into Pittsburgh and win that game, that's impossible.
Yeah, he's won more games with less talent.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I think this is his greatest achievement. And I don't even care that he's 40 years old. He could be 20, he could be 60. It just doesn't matter. But he is 40, and he went in there with the odds stacked completely against him because remember, the home team at some point is going to say, we've had enough of this.
They've been saying that.
10-2 lifetime.
But what did Vegas say? I keep telling you, Vegas didn't care nothing about the Monday night game and how Pittsburgh looked against Baltimore. The history says New England's better.
Who is the only entity that gives Tom Brady consistent credit? The odds makers, because they get it. You don't get it. You won't get it.
No, I get it.
Long as Coach Belichick.
The odds makers say, wait a second, we're not going to go against 12.
No.
They got number 12.
Skip. And also the Patriots do not make the mental mistakes that other teams make at the end of the ball
Like
game.
Atlanta last year.
What
in the
position
Super Bowl.
is the most prone to making huge mistakes in crucial moments? The quarterback.
Not in that system.
Oh, what system? He invented the system. He created. He
That ain't
runs
his-
it.
No, stop.
He calls the play.
No, he doesn't.
He does. too.
Josh
He
McDaniel
checks it.
calls-
But he checks into whatever he wants to.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
Tom Brady made Josh McDaniels.
Don't do that,
He
Skip.
did. Well, you know he did.
No.
He made this football team. I tell you, he gets 75% of the credit. I'll give Belichick 25%.
No, Belichick gets 75.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you're wrong again.
All
because
those players come and go.
This is clearly, all you need to know is the Pro Bowl and degree of difficulty. This is his greatest achievement. Maybe it's like Jordan. He should get it every year, and he doesn't. But this year especially,
Nope.
man, this is against
Carson
all
Wentz
odds.
had the biggest impact in football this year.
Okay,
Skip,
he had a better
and his
defense.
numbers are better.
He had a better defense,
but
a
his
much
numbers-
better rushing
Still,
game.
his numbers are better than Brady.
And those 3 wideouts for Carson Wentz, those are really good players.
They should have he shouldn't have got the MVP in 2007 because he had Randy
He
Moss.
had Randy
he
Moss.
had Wes Welker. He had all those guys, so he shouldn't have got it, Skip.
Okay, but we're talking about. I'll
Okay,
give you that. We could. I can't
no.
remember who the other candidates were.
Yeah.
I think he only just set records. You know, he broke every record.
Oh, well,
and when Peyton did that, Peyton would win MVP, right?
No, Peyton sometimes didn't. I mean, Peyton was 49 and 10. 49, well, yeah, 49 broke Dan Marino's record. And then Brady came along and broke his record. And then Peyton came back and broke 55-10.
Tom Brady is going to win the MVP.
By
It's
default.
going to crush both of you.
But look, I'm not going to lose any sleep.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. 'Cause
No.
I won't lose any sleep.
I'm gonna go-
He'll definitely
I'll
lose
kick
sleep.
my TV set in like the Super Bowl.
Why would you kick in your own TV?
Because
set?
I was just
Because
upset.
it's rental. He got rental's
No,
insurance.
it's,
He gonna take it back. They gonna come get it at rental center.
By the way, Rashad Jones made the Pro Bowl.
Did he?
Yes.
The safety?
Yes.
So you mean to tell me one Pro Bowl player took down Tom Brady?
Yeah, wait a second.
I tried to tell you, and
Wait,
Skip
how
told
did-
you
how
before
did
the season
help
even
me out.
started what was going to happen in that game.
That is correct. How did Sue not make the Pro Bowl? He dominated. Every time I turned on the Dolphins, he was just tearing up 2 blockers. How did he not make it?
you know
No.
what?
Get it.
I think
No,
that
a lot of guys will skip what used to happen. It get close to Pro Bowl time voting, guys turn it up. They get like 4 or 5 sacks like right before the vote. They're like, nah, we watching tape all year long. Sue hadn't been what he was Monday night. He hadn't been playing like that, Skip.
They just play the Patriots different than that.
Yeah.
Rob, thanks for joining us. No mercy. The 11-3 Patriots are ranked number 1 in the latest USA Today Power Rankings. They're 1 spot ahead of the Steelers, who they beat on Sunday. Pittsburgh is followed by the Vikings, Rams, and Saints. The Eagles have the best record in the NFL, but without Carson Wentz, they're ranked 8th. We're joined once again by Jim Mora. Jim, right now, who's your Super Bowl pick?
Pick for winning it all?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going with the Patriots over the Vikings.
Ah.
Hurts me to say that because, Anthony Barr and Eric Kendricks, 2 starting linebackers for the Vikings, were my guys. Love them to death. But I don't know how you ever pick against Bill Belichick and Tom Brady and the magical things they do in the moments that really count. And we saw it the other day against Pittsburgh. It's just they have the uncanny ability to pull it out when it needs to be pulled out.
So you would think the Vikings then could go to Philadelphia and beat the backup quarterback?
I think they can go to Philadelphia and beat the backup quarterback. Yeah, I think.
Even though they have a backup quarterback also.
Yeah, but Keenum's been playing longer this year. Not overall, he's playing longer this year, and I just like their defense. And I think it's time for a host city to have their home team playing. It's never happened. We know that the 49ers played at Stanford Stadium, but they weren't, at Candlestick. So maybe it's time. And I'm pulling for them at least. I'm pulling for, and I'm pulling for the Rams too. I love what Sean's doing there, and I love the rebuilding. Amazing. Or I don't know if you call it a rebuilding. They've just kind of just flipped it, But I'm.
They got an offensive mind. Coaching an offensive team.
He's something now. He's so creative. Do you know him at all?
I do not.
Oh, man, he's sharp. How about this? He was my ball boy at San Francisco because John McVay was.
Oh, yeah, because of John.
And so Sean was a kid.
Yeah.
And he was my ball boy, and so was Demoff. He was a ball boy for me one summer. I'm getting old, man.
Yeah.
Getting old. What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Skip. Go ahead and tell them how great the Patriots are, and Tom Brady should be the MVP.
So I understand where you're coming. You are not picking the Patriots, obviously.
Okay, you go then.
I did.
Go ahead.
But go ahead.
You
No,
picked the Patriots?
You know I picked the Patriots, Skip.
Before the year did.
Yes.
I forgot about that. And I
Yeah,
thought you
Patriots,
jinxed him.
Seahawks.
Yeah.
But it's just so confusing because he changes his team every week, so it's hard to keep track.
Does he?
Yeah.
But he has that right. He's in the media now.
Yeah.
He can do that.
I'm going to say this one more time, just for the record. If the Dallas Cowboys get through the back door and sneak into that last spot, the NFC is in trouble because they would be the best team in the playoffs.
No, they won't.
Yes, they would be. You know it, and I know
don't
it.
know
I just
it.
think it's a long, long, long shot that they get in. But if they do, they will be the hottest team, and they will be the best team in the NFC.
Everybody that could possibly make the playoffs, defense is better than the Cowboys. From New Orleans to Carolina. Now, maybe the Falcons. They're pushing with the Falcons. But the Eagles, Minnesota, they're better than the Cowboys,
They're
Skip.
starting to come together around Sean Lee.
He's
back, and they're growing up.
Sean Lee.
Hey, if Pittsburgh had beaten New England,
Yep.
would you have changed your
Nope.
pick?
Yes, he
No,
would have.
no, Skip. I always think.
You were looking for an excuse.
No.
Way out.
The Patriots, they have no answer for Gronk. And for whatever reason, Coach Belichick will not let your best offensive weapons beat him, but teams let their best offensive weapon beat
How's
them.
that happen?
And
How does he get so open?
Because everybody think, well, I'm going to single him. They want everybody to be the hero.
You can't put a linebacker on him.
No,
because he's too
but
athletic and
you
fast. You put a DB on him, and he's too big and
Well, you just double.
Well, you have to.
Yes, but
But
look,
if they can run the ball, then you can't spend your whole game doubling him. So
let me ask you a question. You know Tom Brady can beat you.
Yeah.
Have you seen them consistently week in and week out beat you running the football?
No.
Exactly. So that's what I'm going to do. What the Patriots do better than everybody else, Skip, when the game becomes chaotic, they relax the most. They will never, ever beat themselves.
Isn't that amazing?
We've seen teams in Super Bowls, the last two Super Bowls, we saw a team Sunday. They beat themselves. And the Patriots sit right back there and says, okay, y'all go ahead, it's chaotic
Okay,
now.
so what would have happened if you gave Bill Belichick the Pittsburgh defense against Brady's offense the other day and Gronk? What would have happened?
He would have taken Gronk out.
How?
He's going to try to get physical at the line of scrimmage, and he will say, look, linebacker, if you have inside leverage, don't you bite no outside move. We got somebody to handle that. Linebacker, if you got outside coverage, don't worry about anything outside. You take him outside.
So
we got
whose
the
fault
safety.
was it
Here's
that
what
that-
you got to do. You got to go back and look at the Super Bowl when the Rams played the Patriots, and they had the greatest show on turf
They
with
did.
Marshall Faulk.
Played a lot of
And
coverage.
Willie and those guys, every time they'd come off the edge, they would take a shot on Marshall as he would try to release.
Right.
And that's what Bill would do to
Right.
Gronk,
Yeah.
is he would never
Let him free release.
get a free release, even if he got a couple holding calls at, not on third down,
Right.
a couple first down, early holding calls.
Yep.
Because he knows that they're not going to pull the flag every down.
Okay, so do you blame Mike Tomlin for this because his forte is coaching defense?
See, the
Should
thing
he
is,
be better than
on
this?
one of those seams, the DB jumped outside. Well, if he jumps outside, that safety got to know right now I'm going downhill. That safety in the hole. He's got to pick that. He got to pick that ball.
Look, I coached DBs forever, and they get and you can work all week, and we're going to be inside and outside, and you're never going to go for that outside fake. And you get in the game, and that athletic arrogance takes over, and you say, okay, Shannon Sharpe just made that. He's going to run a stick route, and I know I'm not supposed to bite it. I know I'm not supposed to bite on it, but I'm going to go get me one, and then all of a sudden you run stick nod, and it's open because two guys
that
are playing
cheese.
the wrong leverage.
Remember
That
on the
happens
two-point
with
conversion,
I
Skip?
do.
Mike Mitchell's coming down.
Yeah.
He's going to take the slant away. So the corner should not jump inside because Mike Mitchell is coming downhill to take the slant. Stay on his upfield shoulder. If he beats you, jumps over the top, catches the ball, you live with
But
it.
it doesn't happen in New England because they're so well trained and they're such a situationally smart football team. The way they practice, they don't practice like everyone practices. Their practices are divided into situations that have come up through the years that he anticipates coming up. They are so well trained, and you said it. The more chaotic it gets, the more relaxed that team gets because they know that they are prepared for anything that's
That's
coming.
it. And that's the way you have to prepare. And like you said, I see a lot of guys. I beat a lot of guys because they wanted to say, "I got to pick on Shannon Sharpe and John Elway."
Right.
You know he's not supposed to go for the stick nod, the stick seam, but I dangle that cheese out there. Oh, got him. The next thing you know, I'm on the sideline.
That's why you're wearing the gold jacket.
So there's one team in the AFC I would have given a shot to go to Foxborough and beat Brady and Belichick, and that team is not going to make the playoffs, and that team is the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
They just know how to do it, and I think they had enough firepower on both sides of the ball to pull it off this year, and they can't beat the teams they should have beaten.
Don't sleep on Jacksonville.
Defense again.
Jacksonville got a defense with Malik Jackson and
They do.
Calais Campbell.
What
They
are
had a
giving
bunch of Pro
14
Bowlers.
points a game.
14.5
do that in
in
NFL.
today's game.
Once
Okay.
again, a UCLA linebacker, Miles Jack. I just
Okay,
Yeah,
so
they can run-
as well as Blake Bortles has played for the last month,
He's got to play like
quietly,
that.
Okay, can he go do that at Foxborough against Brady? I say
in his
no.
first playoff game,
Yeah.
that'd be tough. But don't sleep. You're right.
That
Don't
defense,
sleep on it.
because if I'm Jacksonville, the way I play, I'll take Jalen Ramsey, who's about 6'2", about 215,
He is.
and I go play man-to-man on Gronk. I got Boyer, Cook.
do.
Okay, we're gonna go play big boy football.
Wait,
These are
you'd
Pro Bowl
you'd
players.
put
Jalen
Ramsey
Ramsey
on Gronk?
Absolutely.
No kid.
Yeah, absolutely, because he's big and physical enough. He's quick enough. Because you
You
remember,
think he can maneuver around him athletically and be long enough to make plays?
You remember when New Orleans played New England in New England? They put Aqib Talib on Jimmy Graham. You put your big physical corner who can maneuver.
Jump, long, athletic.
Boyer, go get Cooks. We're going to play big boy football. They got 4 guys. Calais Campbell and Malik Jackson inside. They got Fowler and the
You know who I'd put on him? You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna just take you back.
Cyprian?
No, I'd put Miles Jack
Miles
on
Jack?
it. Miles Jack, so this a few years ago, Nelson Aguilar had just caught 15 balls against somebody, and we're playing at the Rose Bowl against USC. Remember this game? And we put Miles Jack, an inside linebacker, on Nelson Aguilar, man-to-man the whole game. He had 3 catches for 29 yards. 2 of them came in the first drive. He shut him out the rest of the game. And I'm saying to our defensive coordinator, help Miles, help Miles. Miles comes to the sideline. He's like, Coach, help somebody else. I got this dude. I mean, he's a freak. Have you seen him in person?
No.
He's a freak athlete and a great competitor. And, you know, I'm obviously biased.
Yeah.
He can do it.
But Ramsey.
Wait a
He
second.
can do
Did
it
I
now.
just hear you jump on the Jacksonville bandwagon?
He put a foot on.
I've always said I thought defensively. Now the question is Blake Bortles going to continue to do what he's done
Yeah,
thus
it's
far?
a quarterback's game.
Yeah.
You and Tom Brady or
But that
Blake
def-
Bortles.
Because Tom is going to get some points. He's going to score. They're not going to shut him out.
No.
Can Blake Bortles match that?
Yeah. Jim, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh,
We
my
weren't too
pleasure.
hard on
Thanks
you,
for
right?
having me. No, you guys are great.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. Join us again same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports. One of one.